In this video, we're going to talk about how to get your girlfriend to share about her sexual fantasies. This was a recent question I got from a viewer. And I love this question because it's really important. See, a lot of guys just don't get how repressed they are and women are today in society around sex. We just don't let people have enough expression around sex. And sex is a very healthy and beautiful thing. And it should be talked about openly and freely, especially between a couple that's intimate and committed. So let's talk about that. How do you get your girlfriend to open up a little bit more in this area? And it's simpler and harder than you think. First, you got to be really grounded when you talk about sex. And what I mean by this is as the man, as the masculine, if you're taking the masculine role, creating this nice safe container for her to feel safe in, the protective container role, then you have to be the grounded person. And what this means is when you talk about sex, you have to be comfortable with sex. So it starts by you working through some of your sexual shame. If you're really insecure about sex, then that's something that you probably need to work through. If you're really nervous about sex and you come to her talking about sex and asking her about her fantasies, but everything she says, you get a little like this and you tighten up and you pull away, what's gonna happen is she's gonna start editing what she says to you because she's gonna see that you're a little uncomfortable with her sharing. See, if you're both really nervous and insecure and nobody's grounding the situation, she's going to have a hard time sharing her fantasies with you because she's going to be afraid she's going to get judged. Now, why is that? It has a lot to do with women being shamed for many generations around sex. It's this kind of slut defense. You're a slut if you do this. You're a slut if you do that. Yet women have all these desires just like men. In a lot of cases, more than men. If you don't believe this, read a book like My Secret Garden. You'll see the crazy fantasies that women have. They're usually crazier than men's. And they got these all repressed inside them. And they have all this desire for expression in this area, but then they have to push it down into their shadow material. So again, as you become more solid around sex, one, and number two, you stop judging women for wanting sex, enjoying sex, and for wanting having crazy fantasies, the more she's going to feel comfortable sharing with you. You see, she's reading your subcommunication all the time. She's reading the way you're being. She's reading the way you're communicating. And if you're communicating to her that you're insecure when you ask her what her fantasies are, either you're nervous and scared and you're ungrounded, or that you freak out a little bit when she tells you that her fantasy is to sleep with 2 guys, 3 guys, whatever it is, and you freak out and kind of clench up or even get a little mad or you get frustrated, then you're like, no, I'm okay, I'm okay. She feels all of that. And what do you think that says to her subconscious mind? What do you think that says to her actually more consciously? It says, I can only share so much with him. And why is that important? Why would she do that? Because she cares about you. And she can see how sensitive you are. And if she keeps sharing in this direction and she keeps pushing these boundaries, she could lose you. Because guys can get very jealous and very territorial in these areas. Now, if you're that unique guy that's really worked through a lot of his sexual shame, a lot of his sexual issues, and she starts to share that her fantasy is to be with 2 guys, 3 guys, whatever, and you're like, thank you for sharing, that's beautiful, and you mean it, and you relax in your body, and she can feel you're relaxed, she can feel you're confident in that area, then, well, you know what? She's gonna feel comfortable sharing more things with you, and more things. Now, this doesn't mean you're gonna do it, and it doesn't mean you're not gonna do it. It just means you're comfortable. If that's not something that's for you, don't do it. But don't judge her for it. Don't make her wrong for it. Don't make her feel guilty or ashamed for it. Open up, give her the space to freely express. And the more you do that, the more she'll give you the space to freely express. That's number one. And you'll start to get this open communication back and forth. Now, number two, when she tells you stuff, because women today are so shamed by sex still, it's better than it's been in the past, but it's still there. They get shamed and they get called a slut and they get called a whore and they need to protect that part of themselves. Make sure you don't shame her for it by telling all her friends or telling your friends and making her feel embarrassed that she told you this, making her feel ashamed because if she finds out you're running around saying, hey, my girlfriend said she really wants a threesome and you're getting all excited, well, you know what? Again, she's most likely gonna shut down on you unless she's a really open-minded kind of girl. So I want to invite you into this idea this idea that as you become more grounded and turned on by sex, free with your sexuality, and you can welcome any of her fantasies without judging them, without making them wrong, and then you can protect her fantasies by not running around and sharing them with the world, making her feel dirty or wrong, she's going to want to open up to you more and more and more. Then the next phase is going to be moving into her wanting to do certain fantasies with you. Maybe even fulfill some of your deepest fantasies, because she knows you can ground it, you can stay solid, and you can handle the situation when it comes up. Let me give you some examples of this. Let me go through it. What if your partner came to you and she started to share her fantasies, and it'll start a little bit at a time. A little bit here, a little bit there. And then suddenly she tells you one day that she wants to be with another woman. That's one of her big fantasies. Well, is that okay with you? Is that not okay with you? If you can ground that out, and you can be solid and grounded and relaxed in it, you can either say, no, I'd prefer that we just stay a committed couple, but that's beautiful that you want to do that. I don't have a problem with it, and she can feel solid in that. Or you can say, you know what, let's make that happen for you. And it could end up where you're watching her be with another woman. It could end up where you're in a threesome with her. It could end up where she has it alone, and you give her the space and the permission to do it, and the next thing you know, she's wanting to have a threesome with you. Or she's wanting to have fulfill one of your fantasies because you're solid in that. And you stay grounded and you handle it well. I've seen experiences like these happen over and over again. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you start working on grounding yourself out and getting rid of that sexual shame right away, so that you can be there for your woman and give her a space to express herself sexually too. Now, a lot of you might say that, well, why is it my job to do that? Well, it isn't your job, but the only person you can control is you. And as you are the most grounded, as you make yourself more grounded, let's put it that way, as you become more masculine, more solid as a man, you start to create the reality you want around you through that ability. And that's a powerful ability to have. So if you're expecting the world outside you, the women outside you, to be sexual first, to be free with their sexuality first so you can be, well, you're going to be waiting a long time, because you can't control them, but you can control you. So if you get comfortable with your sex, you get through your sexual shame, and you give women freedom in this area and stop playing games with them and making them feel ashamed of who they are. Never do that bullshit with women. Then what you're going to find is that more and more women are going to want to hang around you, be around you, share with you, and share their sexual experiences and intimate experiences with you. Because not only do you make them feel safe, you also protect their fantasies and don't share them with the world. And that gives them a space to go out and really express themselves with you. So with all that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out thefearlessman.com and check out our live events. I'd love to meet you at a live event. You can ask these questions in personal, and maybe we can go even a little deeper into these topics. Make sure to also subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. And make sure to comment in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you think of the videos. I'd also love to hear what other videos you want or other topics you want us to add to this, because this channel is meant for you, and it's to help you get to the next level. Remember, only the confident really live. I'll see you in the next video. We're just going to basically jump right in. And what this webinar is about understanding the subtle communication that women so understand naturally that men don't seem to get and men have to learn. There was a gentleman named Purple on an immense level. And I want to invite you into this world of coaching. Whether you just take a seminar, a weekend seminar, a free seminar from somebody, they can all have a powerful impact on your life and get you moving in a way that just reading books and looking at videos online can't do.